Hey cookies, Pav here. Just hanging out here at the park with my little dog Buster. Hope every one of you is finding some opportunities to get outside and move your bodies, get your eyes off the screens, maybe ride your bikes, take a walk. All of that is really, really important. But today, I would like to share with you a poem. And it's actually the first poem I ever memorized. It's from the first collection of poetry I ever owned called A Children's Garden of Verses by Robert Luis Stevenson. And I used to recite this poem to my kids back when they were rugrats, anytime we would be at the park and they would be riding on the swings. So here we go. How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it's the pleasantest thing ever a child can do. Up in the air and over the wall, till I can see so wide, rivers and trees and cattle and all over the countryside, till I look down on the garden green, down on the roof so brown. Up in the air I go flying again, up in the air and then down. Have a great day, everybody. Miss you. So Buster and I are walking the loop, just trying to get some steps in. I'm hearing that we may find out soon that the dog parks and the playgrounds themselves are closed, even though the walking trails will remain open. I'm so impressed with you guys being so flexible as things change day by day. You're doing a great job staying online and doing your classwork for everybody. And again, I can't encourage you enough to find those opportunities to take your eyes off the screen. Maybe call each other instead of text each other. Make sure everybody's doing okay. Again, go for walks, ride your bikes, ride your skateboards, get your bodies moving, drink in some of the sunshine. So I also wanted to tell you a little bit more about that author, Robert Luis Stevenson, the one whose poem, The Swing, I just shared with you. He is also the author of some classic books that you probably already know, or at least have heard of. You just don't know that he wrote them. For example, Treasure Island is one example. Another example would be Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. So I wanted to talk about this because here's another case in which you might be able to access books that might be a little bit antiquated or a little bit more difficult for you, but they're the books that tend to be available for free online, the classics. So, 2 reasons why I think you could, for example, totally handle Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, even if it seems a little intimidating to you. Reason number 1, you are my kids. Reason number 2, you already know the premise. So let's start with reason number 1. You guys are vocabulary ninjas. And I just want you to not forget the skills that we practiced this year. What do you do when you encounter a word that you don't know? First thing first, start with what you do know. So you can use context clues to try to decipher the meaning. Another thing you can do is tap into your schema. Maybe you've heard the word before, maybe it sounds similar to another word that you know or that you've heard. Third thing, you could use word replacement. So that's where if you took the word out of the sentence and you had to plug something else in, what would make sense? And then the last one, looking at word parts. If there's a root word or a prefix or a suffix that you understand, maybe you can break the word apart. So you guys are ninjas, you can totally handle that. The other strategy is because you know the premise. So like, for example, if you've seen a Simpsons spoof, I actually don't know if there is one, but I feel like there is. There must be. If you've seen a Simpsons spoof on Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde or SpongeBob or whatever, then you know the premise of the story. So you're not struggling to understand what's going on. You're just enjoying and getting all the rich benefits of reading something that might be a little bit tough for you. You're challenging your brain. You are growing as a thinker, as a learner, as a person. So keep reading, keep moving your bodies, keep checking in with each other. I miss you so much. Hope everybody's well. Bye.